Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. I want to first off say thank you to the Holy Spirit for finally giving us cold weather. Seems like it's been summer all year round. I'm a winter kind of guy. I'll take the winter over the summer any day, and I just love this winter. Tonight's message is going to be about not falling for Big Brother's tactics. Once again, tonight's message is going to be about not falling for Big Brother's tactics. And what I mean by that is all this crap in the media with, Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Elon Musk, a lot of this crap. So the Bible verse I'm going to use for tonight is going to be Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2. It says, "You have put your faith in Pharaoh's protection. You have tried to hide his shade. But by trusting Pharaoh, you will be humiliated. By depending on him, you will be disgraced. All who trust in him will be ashamed, and he will not help you." So basically what Isaiah chapter 30, and when I say Pharaoh, I'm meaning Pharaoh in today's generation by any of our celebrities, because they have a lot of influence. They can basically make us do whatever they want, meaning if one of our favorite artists, says something, we just go for it and do it. And we need to be sharp. We need to be to a point where nothing can faze us, nothing can trick us, and that we're 2 steps ahead of the government. So tonight, I want to start off by talking about this crap that everybody's probably seen by now. It's this Kanye West interview where basically he calls himself exposing stuff, which I think most people probably already knew. Let's put this in his perspective. He basically said that his mom was sacrificed, but guess what? He's the one that did it. I mean, how bold can you be? And I know for a fact, everybody probably knows this, but it's just the fact that he calls himself exposing stuff, but he basically told on his own self. The point I'm trying to get across, and I've said this many of times, you can't be in that industry with that kind of money, that kind of power without giving up a relative or a loved one for fame. And it's just sickening. And then he goes to talk about Bill Cosby killing his son, Michael Jordan killing his son, Dr. Dre, and a whole bunch of crap, which we all know that was the truth, that these things do happen, and it's just a wicked world. Another thing that I wanted to say real quick, let's not fall for this trick, because these elites, when I mean music artists or hip hop singers or pop singers, them and the government and the elites, they're all in it together. So when they call themselves halfway exposing something, they mix it with lies to get us, and I mean the population, to, oh man, did you see what Ye said? And man, I always knew Ye was real. No, it's a trick. He's trying to get publicity. He's trying to get more people to look at him. Now, once again, I have no dog in the fight. I don't really care for any of the topics that he talked about. I just see a lot of us are getting carried away with it, and we think that he's really telling us something when he's really not, because he's playing both sides. Basically, he's a double agent. Another thing that just happened, Kyrie Irving, and I got to get this off my chest, and I'm laughing because I've been following him, and I've told people this a lot since he was a player of the Boston Celtics, which I'm a diehard fan, but let me not digress. He can't be trusted either. Now, I remember about a few years ago, he got a devil pentagram tattooed on his hand. And if you guys Google this, you can see it as clear as day. He's got a devil pentagram tattooed on his hand. Now, he comes out in the media the other week. He talks about from Hebrews to Negroes, which is all good. These are things that we should be aware about. And he did kind of prove a point. But it's obvious that he's playing both sides too, because here's the thing. Mr. Irving did an interview, or on one of his IG lives, he's basically talking about being a star seed. And for the people who don't know what a star seed is, that's basically when these people who believe they're star seeds come from another planet. They're here to raise the vibration to the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th dimension, which is basically inviting demons in And basically, they call themselves here to raise their awareness. And the awareness that they're talking about is not of Yahuwah HaMashiach. Theirs is from the enemy, the devil. But back to him. I mean, I've been seeing him all over the news for like the last couple of nights. And it's kind of sad to see not just blacks, just people in society where they're running with this thinking, wow, man, Irving is on our side. I knew he was woke. Always knew he was woke. Okay, let's put it like this. When you give a half truth and a half lie, I kind of don't count it. Because it's either you tell the 100% truth or you don't. Now, here's another thing that he did about 2 years ago. And I'm not going to say it, but I think we know what I'm referencing to. He went against the government, I guess, and he didn't get the fluid that caused the world to shut down about 2 years ago. I hope you guys know what I'm getting at. Now, I'll give him credit for that. I mean, if he wants to not get it, that's his body, his choice. But the problem I have with it is that you got punks like Shaq and Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith. These are nothing but peons. There's a guy by the name of Adam Silver, who's the commissioner of the NBA, and it's been obvious. Every time Irving gets out of line, they send them three to go get at him. What I mean by that is they blast him all over the sport talk radio shows. They humiliate him all over TV. And it's just a shame that every time he gets out of line, they keep using those three. And it's like Shaq, Barkley, and Stephen A. Quit being a sucker for $1 and just leave them alone. Who cares? But I forgot, you want to protect your assets. You don't want to lose your money and your mansions and your fancy cars. So you just go and do what Adam Silver tells you just to keep pennies in your pocket. Bunch of Chaunceys. The sad part about this, too, was that Irving did get suspended for about 6 or 7 games from the Hebrews to Negroes post. And the way that the government and Adam Silver and the way that they handled this was awful. They made him, and once again, I have no dog in the fight. I'm just getting this off my chest because they're making it seem like the man humiliated or killed 30 people in broad daylight. They made him do 7 things. He had to go to some classes, and he had to make a public apology. He had to do so much stuff, jump through hoops just to get back on the court. And it's like, this is a shame that they humiliated him like this, and everybody's just, looking the other way saying, yep, that's what he get. That's what Irving get. And once again, I have no dog in the fight. It's just me showing you how corrupt the system is, how corrupt the NBA is. And even though it's kind of addicting, it still is corrupt. He had his first game back, I guess, Sunday, and he had a whole bunch of Hebrew Israelites hanging out the Barclays Arena. Now, the Barclays Arena is where the Brooklyn Nets play, and it was about 70, 80. I mean, it was a lot of them. But the funny part is that I'm hoping out of all those Hebrew Israelites who are standing behind him, I'm hoping that somebody can get to him, not in a disrespectful way, but put Yahuwah HaMashiach in his ear because Kyrie Irving, this is all for nothing. If you saying all this stuff and you still don't believe in Yah, you could be going to hell. And I don't wish that on my worst enemy. And that's what I'm hoping these Hebrew Israelites got to him. Now, if they didn't, I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough time to talk to him. But I'm hoping that someone got to him. And the thing is that these Hebrew Israelites are basically saying that they're there to support him and they believe in what he said. And they're basically riding behind him, which is all fine if they're going to preach the gospel. But if they're just doing this for clout or street cred or anything like that, then it kind of goes out the window. I got a couple of notes here. Just bear with me. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Okay, and another thing, and I'm glad that I looked over this real quick. This Elon Musk crap, okay? He came out, I want to say about a couple years ago in Texas. The power grids had went out, which was awful. Texas, I mean, it was just bad. All over the news, people were complaining about how they couldn't have power for about 3 days. They couldn't really get to any grocery stores or anything because they were out of gas. And it was just a terrible sight. So Elon Musk puts his 2 cents in, and he calls himself helping them, which is fine and dandy. Elon Musk is another guy that calls himself buying Twitter to cause giving free speech and all this nonsense. Now, he can do what he wants to do. That's his money. But guys, let's not be deceived. This is the same man who wants to put a Neuralink chip in our brains. So for those of us going out there screaming, oh, Elon is a real one. No, he's not. He's a double agent. I mean, don't fall for his crap too. And I'm sick of him because he's another one that tries to come in front of the camera to tell people how he's here for humanity. He loves us and he wants to help us do what's right. But you're the same one that wants to enforce the mark of the beast by putting Neuralink in our brains. If you guys don't believe me, you could Google it yourself. It's called Neuralink. Neuralink. And then his name is ELON space MUSK. And just research all those videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this devil is not on our team too. And the bigger point that I'm trying to hit home here is this. None of these devils are on our team. Irving, Musk, Kanye, the politics, government officials, nobody that you see, Kamala Harris, none of these guys are on our team. And we have to stop being so hungry for a savior to say, wow, for example, Kamala, I knew she was real. Guys, if anybody is on mainstream TV or they got a lot of money and they're famous, they're not on our sides. They will screw over the black man and woman in a heartbeat just to keep their pockets fat, and they're not here to support us. So while we keep, going to vote for these people, which you can do what you want, I'm not here to discredit you. If you want to vote, vote. But when are we not going to get the picture? Nothing has changed. Us African Americans are still going to be gunned down like dogs. Yes, we're going to have footage on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and all these sites showing that we're being gunned down. Nothing is going to happen. And then we're going to be just still crying over, reparations and things like that. Guys, this was designed from years ago for this to be this way. So let's not act like, we right around the corner from change. I could feel it in the atmosphere. No, we're not getting anything from the African-American community. And I'm not here to put us down. I'm just saying when you see the way the system is designed, you read it, you do research, then you refrain because you're wasting your energy thinking that Joe Biden and all these officials are going to help us when they're really not. It's sad what happened to the sister. I forget her name. If I'm saying it incorrectly, please forgive me. Shanquella. She went, I guess, in Mexico with some friends, and they beat her to death. I mean, now that's a story that you want to pay attention to because it just goes to show you how wicked this world is, how people can't be trusted. And for the people who did that to her, it's just a shame that her own so-called friends, which they probably weren't because they wouldn't have did that girl like that. They beat her naked. And then you have a punk on the camera saying in the background, you can hear him, fight back, Shanquella, or fight back, girl. And it's her getting jumped and he's recording it. It's like, why would you do something like that? It's just so sick of them to do that. But that's a real story. But the other ones like Irving, Musk, and all them guys, stay away from that. And here's another last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to wrap this up. There's something called the IP address, which we all use when we get on the internet. Now, when I say that these people are plants, all these celebrities, all these politicians, meaning they can see what we're looking up on our phones, and it shows where we live, the time we were there, etc., etc. The point is that I'm proving is that with them tracking our IP addresses, don't be afraid because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm not afraid myself, and I'm not just fat mouthing. I'm saying this because I'm serious about this. When you're following these people blindly like this, and the government sees that, they really believe Kanye is on our side or whatever, who's to say when stuff really hits the fan 2 or 3 years from now, they come and get us off these IP addresses because of the stuff we researched and some of the things we may have commented on. I know that may sound far-fetched for some, but it's totally in the equation. You can't doubt anything from these sick men, anything from these sick government officials. And I keep screaming about them because they're the ones that are oppressing us every day. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I hope you guys learned something from this message. And it is Irving, Kanye, Elon, none of these officials are here to serve us. All this is orchestrated. All of this is premeditated. And all the stuff that they're doing is saying is not really any truth. These are things that are half-truths where they mix lies with truth. And they're here to try to deceive the masses again. And the government is behind this, and so are the elites. You guys take care. I hope you have a fantastic morning.